The Land Rover Defender is a tool of conservation.
Borana's the perfect place to test the new Defender simply because it's got incredible diversity of terrain. Tusk partnership with Land Rover goes back over 15 years. Tusk is an African wildlife conservation charity. We want to use this year to really highlight the plight of the lion. We are now in a situation where we've got less lion in the wild than we have rhino, and I think that is a pretty shocking indictment.
As a Kenyan myself, I had no idea until I started working here. But we've only got 20,000 lion left in the world. It's crazy.
The lion is actually Kenya's national animal, so it's intertwined with us as a people. On Borana, we have a team that's dedicated to tracking and monitoring lions, and they have to be able to go where the lions go and make sure that they're safe.
The process of tracking and monitoring lions involves fitting of GSM devices, which we normally call collars, which are able to tell you where the animal goes and what it is doing.
When it comes to collaring lion or tracking lion at any point, they're hardly ever on the road. So that means that we need a vehicle that's capable of going off-road in quite an adventurous situation.
It involves moving in with a full veterinary team. This team will use a tranquilizer dart, and the animal will be out for around 40 minutes to maximum 1 hour.
While we're in there, we take a lot of interesting measurements and a few blood samples and things just to keep up on the lion's general health.
And now you have this data which will help you better manage the animal.
The new Defender has demonstrated its skills in every environment that Mother Earth can throw at a vehicle.
When you see lion cubs and know that we have new lions in the landscape, I can see that I'm making a difference.
Big cats are the epitome of all the cats in that line of evolution. They are magnificent, they are beautiful, they are wonderful to be with. Us as the human race should make every opportunity for future generations to enjoy the same spectacle of nature we are so privileged to witness and observe.
Photography is 95% about access. It is not about this. This is just a piece of metal. It is getting yourself in the position to use this. You need a car that can take you to inaccessible places. I spend more time photographing wildlife than anything else. I don't think it's been done particularly well in the past. It's not been immersive enough. And I think to make it immersive, you have to get dirty. And also to get in a position to get dirty, you need Land Rover's help to get you to fairly inaccessible places. I'm in awe of polar bears for their fortitude. I'm in awe of tigers for their ruthlessness. But then the most emotionally intelligent animal of the whole lot is the one right behind me. Land Rover and Tusk are both very special, not just for me, but for the conservation world. Borana's ecosystem is much less uniform than just about any other national park I know in Kenya. It's hilly, it's rocky. There are a lot of roads that if you rented a car at the airport, you couldn't make it down here. So you need a Land Rover. It's appropriate, I think, that the first time people are seeing this car is in a place like Borana. an old saying that a ship's safe in a harbour, but ships weren't really made for harbours. They're made to go to the final extremes. And in the modern world, you need cars that can take you to the final extremes.
The partnership between the IFRC and Land Rover started way back in 1954 in the desert of Dubai, where a series Land Rover converted into mobile health clinic supports the community-based health program with first aid response. This year we are back to test capability of the new Defender.
This is where the first Land Rovers came. They absolutely explored this region, so it's only fitting that we come here to test this new vehicle, push it to its limits, because that's what the new Defender's all about. It's really important to make sure that our vehicles are tested at the extreme, that the new Defender is absolutely at home here, is durable and reliable, and can drive anywhere again and again.
Mostly our role is to work with our volunteers worldwide. We deliver assistance in very difficult terrain to the affected and vulnerable communities in a safe and secure way.
The new Defender is the most capable Land Rover ever. It sits on 815mm tyres, which give a very large contact patch. It's fantastic on sand and incredibly smooth on the road as well, which is so important when Red Cross volunteers drive such long distances to reach people in need.
We are in 191 countries. Last year, we were able, globally, to cover more than 13 million kilometers.
The agility on road is amazing. The engineers were obsessed about making this the most dynamic vehicle to drive. You can drive this car for hundreds of miles a day, absolutely effortlessly.
Our teams drive long hours and cover many miles to be able to deliver assistance.
The Red Cross is a perfect partner because these guys push the extremes all the time.
The Red Cross operates in some of the most hard-to-reach places on Earth. Together with Land Rover, we can reach people in crisis wherever they are.